What is land flipping and is it profitable? Land flipping is not as well known or sexy as fix and flips. There's no rehab to show off. There's no before and after photos that look great on HGTV and all those different shows that we all love to watch. But in the last few years, I've come to learn that land deals can become a major part of an investment strategy and give amazing returns that you can't find anywhere else. The benefits to this are huge. The downside is really small. So let's dive in and talk about how land flipping can be something to help grow your net worth. So what's the concept with land and land flipping? Well, first off, I was not very excited about land because I looked at land as a liability, not as an asset. Now, let's talk about the definition of asset versus liability. Assets put money in my pocket and liabilities take money away. Well, one of the problems that I had with land is I have to pay taxes on it every single year. And it's really difficult, unless it's like farmland or something like that, to get someone to lease it from me so that I can actually make some money on that land, or maybe some hunting rights or those things. But those land deals are not the easiest to find, and they're typically more expensive than what I want to be into that. So I kind of discounted land for a long time. About 3 or 4 years ago, though, I was on a podcast and they were talking about land, and they had me on as a hard money lender saying, why don't hard money lenders want to lend on land? I said, well, the biggest reason is we look at it more of a liability than we do look at it as an asset, because if I take that back, what am I going to do with that land? It's not like I can rent it. Selling it may be difficult. But then I came to learn something that I had no idea about, and that is land is illiquid. Okay, land is not liquid. What I mean by that is if you have a piece of land and you want money for that piece of land, you're going to have to wait 6 to 12 months to sell that piece of land to get the money out of it. So let's say you inherited a piece of land. Let's say that you had somebody that has passed away and you inherit it, and all the siblings are fighting and they just want money. They want to be done with it, and they'll take a reasonable offer to just be done with that, and somebody else can come in. So the issue is, if I want to go finance land, it's extremely difficult to finance land. Most banks, credit unions, those things are not going to finance land. What they will finance is the construction that you're going to do on top of the land, but they typically want that land to be free and clear. So if I own a piece of land and I want cash fast because of a medical emergency, because of a divorce, because of a bankruptcy, because of an inheritance, because I just want to get rid of it, I'm tired of paying the taxes, for a variety of different reasons, I'm going to have to wait 6 to 12 months to find a buyer that's going to buy that piece of land from me. And in the meantime, I'm paying taxes and I've got this liability. Well, guess what? There are some people that would rather take fast money than have the highest price. So basically they're saying, I would rather trade and get money today and get it quickly than I would maybe get more money in the future. And that is the whole concept of land flipping. The concept of land flipping is finding somebody that would rather have cash today, right now, than they would put the property on the market, hire an agent, go through the process, keep paying the taxes, and then 6 months to 12 months later, selling that piece of property. So then you're gonna say, well, why would I wanna buy that piece of property? Well, because I'm gonna buy that property at such a great deal that I'm gonna resell that property at a good deal, and I'm gonna make a profit spread in there and go and do it again and again. Now, one of the great things with land is there is no rehab, okay? You don't have to rehab anything. You can do it really quickly. There's very little risk, and there's lots of profit in deals. And I would also tell you the competition is pretty low. You usually don't run into a lot of competition. And as a matter of fact, most land investors say if there is competition, that's a good thing, because the market's already been proven as to where I'm going. And when you start looking at different land and what you should be going after, there's really a huge world out there of land and plenty of room for all the land investors. So how does this work? Well, basically what we do is we market to pieces of land that we think have the probability or a higher probability of wanting to get cash versus then keeping that. When we're talking about land, we're talking about agricultural, we're talking about open space, vacant land, recreational, residential vacant land. Those are the types of things. And it typically falls into two categories. You've got what are called infill lots. They're basically part of subdivisions and those things where there's just a lot that's been sitting there that nothing's happened with. So you've got those types of properties. Then you're going to have more your recreational, your cabins, your more out on the sticks a little bit further out. Now, we don't want to be too far out, but basically things that are going to be more on the recreational and things that are going to be a little bit more of a driving distance. Now, they're different people and they're different agents that you're going to be working with on these types of properties. But that's basically what we're looking at. The other thing is you want to make sure you're looking for the correct lot size, which I recommend that you keep under about 10 acres. And there's a few specialties around that as well. The other thing that I think it makes sense to look at things is which land is free and clear, okay? Which ones do they not have? Which ones is free and clear? What is not listed on the MLS already? Those are all things that I think we've got to take a look at to make a determination as to what we should be going after. So the whole concept is you market to somebody that's in a situation where they'd rather take cash now at a discount than waiting to sell that property and make those a little more money in the future. Now, based upon that, it's somebody that has motivation and somebody that has equity, which typically I like to go after free and clear properties. Now, probate is a fantastic way to do this. There's a lot more to it, but the concept is you're going after people that fit that. You're sending mailers to them. They are calling you. You're looking at the values and say, I will give you cash today. I think one of the easiest ways to look at this is like a pawn shop, right? If you walk into a pawn shop, or if you've ever watched Pawn Stars, right? Basically, people are going in and saying, I have this item. And the pawn shop is saying, fantastic, I can give you this amount of money because I need to make some money because I'm taking on the risk because I need to make a profit, which is how we stay in business. So the person walking into the pawn store knows, could they get more money for that item? Yes. But would they have to sit on that item for 6 months or a year or whatever to sell it? Yes. And do they have a storefront? Do they have a way to advertise it? Do they have buyers that are coming to them already? No. So the idea is I'd rather have cash now. I'll give you my item. I'll sell my item to you. Let's say it's a guitar and I'm like, hey, it's going to take me months to sell this guitar. I'd rather just get some cash now. Great. Here's my guitar. Let's say they buy it for $50 and they're going to sell it for $100. I get $50 from the guitar. Now, could have I waited and gotten $100? Maybe. Maybe not. Probably I wouldn't get the full 100 because I don't have the same buyers that are coming in. I don't have the same storefront. I don't have the same marketing plans. I don't have the same people that I'm working with as you have in that type of a pawn shop. So maybe I get $75. The reason that the pawn shop's going to get a little more is because they have those added things that are going to increase their likelihood of selling for a higher price, which is the same thing in being a land investor. Now, if you take that pawn shop analogy, that's the same thing we're talking about. With land, people are coming knowing that you're an investor, knowing that you can provide cash. And so there are people out there that would trade money for time. Okay, trade money for time. People do this all the time. They trade money for time. Would you rather take a direct flight or would you rather take 4 stops and then get there? Would you rather trade that and pay a little bit less or would you pay a little bit more to take a direct flight? Well, personally, I'd rather pay a little bit more and take a direct flight than I would make 4 stops. That's a situation where I'm trading money for time. I'm trading money for time, and that's a good swap to me. I'm willing to do that. Just like when I go in the pawn shop, I know I'm not going to get full retail value out of my guitar. I'm going to get less, but I'm going to get it now. I'm going to have cash in my hand and I can move on with my life and go into something else. Those are the types of people that we are going after and the types of people that are interested in selling their land. Now, let's be clear here. Not everybody is going to want to sell their land for less than what they may get selling it 6 months to 12 months from now. But there is a portion of the population that does, and the key is finding those people and finding the commonalities, marketing towards those people so that they can call and know, hey, if you want cash fast, I can do that for you. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about a deal that I did in Georgia, okay? I typically don't do these smaller deals, but this one fell into my lap, so I want to just outline this for you just because it's on my mind here. I bought the lot for $9,500, okay? I paid title fees and all that type of stuff. I paid $1,748 in title fees. and everything else like that. I may have, yeah, I've got a picture of my HUD statement here. Okay, so here's the property. I whited stuff out. This is 1.49 acres. This is where the settlement was. This was the closing attorney. We bought it for $9,500. So that's basically what we were into the property. So what we did is we got them the money, we bought that property. So I'm into this property, how much? Let's say, we'll break it down here in just a minute. So I put the property on the market. About 60 days later, I got an offer. We ended up going under contract for $25,000, and we end up closing about 30 days later. So my money was out for 90 days is how long I had that deal out, okay? So let's kind of break this, let's just kind of break this all down. I wanna show you what we had. Whoops, let's come over here. Okay, so I listed the property for $30,000. We negotiated to $25,000. I paid $9,500 is what I purchased the property. I paid $1,425 in origination. I paid doc prep fees. Then I paid my agent my cost to buy the property, title fees and those things, as well as my cost to sell the property. The gross income on this deal was $7,742. Now, I got my $1,000 back from my earnest money, and I had some marketing expense of about $2,000. Well, in the end, once I get those things reimbursed, I make $5,642, which I split with my investor depending upon how long I have the money out for. If you look at that, we are looking at a 599% return on your money on an annual basis. You can't find that anywhere. Like, we're talking to people in the stock market that are happy if they get 5 to 8%, and we're talking about 600% return. And what makes this even better, if you are using a lender, that return gets even better and better as time goes on. So why do I like land? Well, deals are actually not as hard to find as you may think. Now, they're a lot of marketing. You've got to go after the right people. You've got to have the right list, but not a lot of people are going through and trying to find land deals. Also, land isn't easy to sell. You can't just go get that bank loan against the land. You're gonna take 6 to 12 months to actually sell that piece of land is another reason. The other thing I like about land is the investment. Like, you're only putting a few $1,000s into marketing, and even if you were getting a loan on the property, your loan's for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, under $75,000 rather than spending $500,000 on a property. The other thing I really like is it's very rare that I don't make 100% return or greater. You can't do that anywhere, meaning if I spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in marketing, I am gonna get my let's say I spend $3,000 in marketing, I'm gonna get my $3,000 back plus another $3,000. So I'm gonna have $3,000 in profit, reimburse myself on the $3,000 of cost. That's at a minimum. And if I can do that multiple times, my returns go up and up and up, which is why you see something like this 600% return that I was showing you a little bit earlier on this beautiful Georgia deal that just happened to fall into our lap. Not bad for a day's work. Also, there's just not a ton of competition. Nobody's talking about land because they kind of are bullheaded like I was, and they look at land and say, you know, I don't know if this is a great thing. Well, here's the secret recipe. I didn't understand how it worked. Knowledge is power, and with that power, you can turn it into money if you know what you're doing. The other great thing about land is you don't have to do with construction. You don't have to be doing the full construction on a property. Now, is that something you're gonna wanna do at some point? Sure, because you're gonna wanna get into rental properties, and you're gonna wanna do some fix and flips, but it's a lot easier just to worry about finding and liquidating the property than finding the property, fixing the property up, project managing, and then selling the property. So the other thing you're dealing with land is it takes a lot less time. Typically when I send out my mailers, I'm dealing with about 3 to 10 callbacks where they call me back. A couple of those are interested. I'm doing some research, and I usually buy about one of those deals out of it. So I'm not spending endless hours trying to find a deal like you typically are doing with fix and flip type deals. The other thing that I like about it is you don't have these unknown repairs. When you deal with renovation on a house, there may be problems with the sewer system or an electrical problem and things that you just wouldn't have known until you actually tear out that wall and do those things. So you aren't dealing with those unknown repairs. As long as you do your due diligence up front, there's only a few things you have to watch out for when it's dealing with land, and they're a lot easier to find out than you typically have with doing a full inspection on a property. The other thing is there's just lower financial risk. Anytime we're dealing with $20, $30, $50, $10,000, it's a lot less risk than we're dealing with $250,000 or $500,000. The other thing I think is really interesting that we've got to talk about here is there is a ton of opportunity. One of the things you can look at is what percentage of the land in the United States is actually developed land. And at my last look, less than 6% of the United States is developed land, meaning there's a house, there's a structure or something, which means 94% of the United States is undeveloped land, which is land that you and I should be interested in doing something with. So if you think about how many sales are happening with residential houses, that only makes up 6% of the overall real estate that is in the United States. There is so much more opportunity in land than there ever has been or will be with single family houses, developed houses, those types of things, commercial properties. When we talk developed land, we're talking commercial properties, we're talking houses, we're talking industrial, all that type of stuff that you see makes up 6% of the United States. Now, is some of the United States, national parks, those types of things, is some of that land really not something that's anything's gonna happen on? Yes, for now, but some of that land is going to be very, very desirable, and there are going to be people that are looking for quick cash today rather than having to wait to sell it. The other thing I really like about land is tangible. You actually have the dirt. You actually own the dirt, and that dirt's not going anywhere. Another thing I really like about land is I don't have to go get insurance. Insurance is for the structure on the property, so I'm not spending money on insurance because if something burns down, I still have the dirt. The dirt is still there, unless you get into details where you're dealing with woods and that type of stuff. That's a whole advanced strategy, not something we want to be talking about today. Another thing I really like about land is if you're buying it right, your taxes on that land is fairly inexpensive. If I remember correctly, my taxes on this piece of land was $298. So let's just say that I had trouble selling this and it's going to take me a year or 2 years. I'm not forking out a ton of money. I'm forking out about $300 in taxes. And most of our people use a strategy where they actually don't pay the taxes until they sell the property or sell the piece of land. So, am I excited about land? Heck yes. This is the strategy that I am teaching my boys and how they can actually do this in high school and make a really significant income that they can then invest into cash flow producing assets. At Do Hard Money, we'll give you the training and the capital to complete land deals over and over again. Learn more, check it out at dohardmoney.com and make it a very profitable day.